Welcome to our session on sustainability and partnerships. Today, Aman and I will outline some of the examples of the collaboration and toolkits that we use to inspire and educate changemakers at Uwcsea. We are really proud that we've been able to work to carefully and intentionally build a culture of sustainability and teamwork that links his world and mine at UWC. We're on a journey towards sustainability, creating systems and opportunities that align and connect the work in facilities and operations with environmental sustainability at the college. Today, I'll be covering the mental models and student aspect of Changemaker Education, as well as a quick blast through the Changemaker Toolkit. And Aman will be building on this and explaining the logistics, dashboards, recognition, and impact reporting from his sphere of influence. We really want to state from the outset that collaboration is very meaningful to us, enabling us to integrate the work behind the scenes and on the dance floor of our school, a metaphor from the work of Aman's teams and the academic teams. I'm going to start our story today stressing the importance of creating a culture and a growth mindset that enables sustainability dialogue to mean something for all areas of a large school or an organisation like ours. Kathy Berger-Kay, a global leader in service learning and a very good friend of ours, always says language defines culture. And we couldn't agree more. It may seem like a trite thing, but having your stakeholders talking the same language and being driven by a shared purpose and being able to effectively communicate promotes collaboration around the complexities of sustainability. Aman's sphere of influence behind the scenes and mine up on the dance floor is a strategically created interdependency, bringing together skills, talents, passions, and experiences to shape a community with purpose for doing good. This magic formula sometimes looks easy, but it isn't. And we've worked with amazing people here at UWC to set the scene for this impactful story and community of changemakers. Regardless of our department or team, everyone at UWC works every day to bring the mission to life through academics, PSE, service and sustainable development, outdoor education activities, and also through the operational side of our school, the backstage to the dance. We have mission alignment and are always looking to strengthen this. So some introductions are in order. I'm Claire Psillides, Head of Environmental Sustainability K-12 here on East Campus, and I also coordinate environmental stewardship in the middle school and high school, as well as teaching grade 10 Jeepers and seed class in the middle school. Aman.
Hello, everybody. This is a wonderful opportunity to partner with Claire and share what are some of the best practices at United World College of Southeast Asia. Well, I have always found my introductions very hard, but if I may introduce myself in two different segments. Structurally, I'm leading facilities and operations across both campuses, but I do describe my role as a community builder, somebody who is passionate about culture and climate. And this partnership with Claire just enhances everything. Over to you, Claire. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, a definition of sustainability then. Sustainable development means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs, according to the Brundtland Commission 1987. It's often broken down into three core interconnecting concepts or pillars: environmental, economic, and social. This aligns perfectly with the work of our school and our mission, which is to make education a force to unite people, nations, and cultures for peace and sustainability. With our educational goal to educate individuals to embrace challenges and take responsibility for shaping a better world, Aman and I will give you a whirlwind tour today on the underlying structures and partnerships that support this important sustainability work. The SDGs. The foundation of sustainability work at the college is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or Global Goals. Why is this our common language? These 17 goals connect us with over 22 years of the global effort towards sustainability. So that seems like a pretty solid foundation for our work at the college. Please ask anyone at the college which is their favorite SDG. We all have personal connections to the goals, and we're educating and using our Changemaker toolkit to raise the capacity to realize these targets. My favorite, goal 17, the 5 Ps of sustainable development. Well, these 17 goals can be formatted in different ways, and we use these different configurations depending on our target audience. A great entry point is the 5 Ps shown here. Everyone in the community can connect to these broad strokes at some level. This is about building culture, creating a communication language that we all understand, a consensus for action and shared purpose. The design of this model clearly shows the interplay between the 5 Ps, and our students enjoy this tool and always want to look deeper. Changemaker education is what makes many of us come to school at UWC every day. It's so powerful. Coupled with a shared language, purpose and vision, Changemaker education is a scaffolded and intentional educational program. At the college, I've been so honored to develop this Changemaker curriculum in service and sustainability, as well as stewardship, drawing together the expertise of so many fantastic colleagues here within Singapore and globally as we design this Changemaker curriculum that perfectly fits UWC. It's been an honor to work with so many activists in Singapore and leaders, and also with our NGO community and other like-minded schools and institutions. The language and pathway to sustainability is truly collaborative and based on partnerships. And this is the strength of this complex work. There's a will to share, innovate, create, and transfer what works in one setting to another. Empowering people to embrace complexity requires simplicity. I know that sounds strange, but it's true. In order to be able to see the complex, you first need something simple to draw you in. Looking at an issue, a challenge, an opportunity through these 4 lenses shown here allows us to take a step back and view the situation from some different angles. And enabling a rich dialogue about the situation being examined. This simple tool is used by our community to look with different lenses and strategize for maximum impact. This is an important soft skill, a 21st century skill, allowing our students to have a global perspective that supports flexibility and adaptability, promotes grit and the nimbleness that is required in today's rapidly changing world. Looking through different lenses also promotes inclusivity and empathy. The Iceberg Model allows us to look under the surface, asking a series of deeper and deeper whys. This tool allows us to get to the root of an issue and identify the target for systemic change, the leverage point. Diving deep looks different depending on different audiences. Are we using this with 1st graders, 8th graders, 12th graders, the PA, the foundation, the landscaping team, Sodexo, local Singaporean schools, our partners, our parents? Yes, we use this tool with everybody. Is this tool used in a maths classroom or a science class or in one of our outdoor education expeditions? Yes, we use this tool everywhere. It encourages us to dialogue for collaboration and sustainability across multiple stakeholder groups. We use it often. Teaching systems thinking has been the highlight of my career. I often tell students when I first meet them, when we're doing the getting to know your teacher session, that I've turned down 2 jobs at the United Nations, and they always roar with shock and they can't believe it. And they still don't believe it when they first meet me, that the biggest thing in my career is working with them and raising their capacity to be a change maker. And I personally feel that teaching systems thinking is so pivotal to our students, and it has such a huge ripple effect in their homes, their condos, their communities, and their families. I tell them this job I'm doing has so much more power than that other pathway I didn't go down. I get out of bed early every morning to shift mindsets, to talk leverage, to create spaces for the habits of mind for complexity to thrive. We need this, and our future needs this. Environmental stewardship is hands-on. It's taking care of our planet and our systems and protecting biodiversity. The compost systems, the pollinators, the paper recycling, the food scrap situation, the resource use, the waste streams, our consumption patterns. We're all stewards and we take care of our planet. And reinforcing this is a major part of what Aman and I do. An all hands on deck approach is essential, coupled with a strong voice upwards to the bigger systems, to the admin, to the leaders, calling for them and business and governments to do better. Teaching ecological literacy is the first step towards stewardship. Students, well, actually, all of us, need to see, understand, care, value, and protect our planet. Permaculture is another tool that we use that I will quickly explain to you. Please do contact us if you want to know more about any of these tools. It's a great tool. So there's 12 ways here to think about an issue differently. All in your sphere of influence, you can use permaculture. It's not just farming, it's actually a way of thinking. Classrooms, family, business, condo, and beyond. This is the powerful language of a paradigm shift that has ripple effects that are really, really impactful. So we all think about permaculture, caring for the earth, for people, and fair share aligns perfectly with our mission here. And this goes beyond our EI groups, beyond the work of Aman's team. This is a way that we filter decision-making on multiple layers. So lean in and learn more. Rest assured that the students at this school have this as a part of their education. And we're constantly reminding them that we're all stewards and we're all capable of working in our systems on a micro or a macro level, no matter what you look like or what sector you work in. Smash down the barriers, roll up your sleeves and get involved. It's super empowering and impactful. Primary school action. I could talk forever, but I want to hand over to Aman soon. The primary school students all engage in environmental stewardship in our environmental stewardship classrooms all around the school. And they also have integrated work within their curriculum, which is amazing through all the areas of the learning program. Every grade level has an EI project, a local Singaporean connection, and a global connection, as well as through their units of study, their outdoor education programs. It's really, really beautifully woven. The aim to raise their capacity as change makers, build agency in our students, and this carefully curated journey allows them to see the wow of their planet and become advocates for conservation, for conscious consumption, and for permaculture. This continues in middle school and is spiraled in a developmentally appropriate way through the K-12 curriculum. Food choices, consumption patterns, waste streams, travel, resource use, and all of these aspects are areas that we explore with the students so they have the facts and they can make decisions that are aligned to our mission, to the SDGs and sustainability. This is the space where they start to innovate a bit more and explore project management, identifying leverage and implementing indicators that are measurable to track the impact of their work. In the high school, you'll start to see more students honing their experiences and becoming a little bit more specified without siloing. They're deepening and honing this knowledge and understanding, drawing upon experiences elsewhere that they've had in the school, and they lead more, they project manage more, they're responsible for communication, marketing, and impact reporting. Students work across the departments in high school and through the school divisions, and they reach out globally and regionally as well, questioning our operations, our policies, our patterns of behaviours. A happy day for us is receiving a message like this: my child has questioned XYZ about my job or my behaviours. Yes, it works. Go ahead, kids, and question and ask and push and push. These kids are empowered to flow seamlessly between home and school and beyond, and really hold the mirror up to themselves, us, and the world, and demand better of us. Connection with nature, systems, and place are critical. At East, Aman's team and mine, as well as significant help from the foundation and so many other people, have enabled a plethora of environmental sustainability classrooms for our students. They are not gardens. They're living labs, just like a chemistry lab, a PE gymnasium, a drama studio, and so on. The hive, the nest, the grade 2 gardens, the infant gardens, the gardens by the bus bay, the zero waste centre, the infant school beds, the worm farms. These are all strategic and intentional stewardship classrooms where our students, as well as the wider community and our Singaporean community, can engage with the concepts of conscious consumption, conservation, and permaculture. This is education at its most exciting. Learning soil, learning seeds, learning pollinators, protecting biodiversity, learning waste reduction. It's such an honor to have worked here at UWC with everybody here and with Aman, with so many people in Singapore and beyond, to develop this type of sustainability education in partnership. When we examine where the leverage points and behaviors are, there are two main opportunities: what we eat and how we travel. How we consume involves asking first, do I need it? Then who made it? How is it made? Let's look at the supply chain. Does this supply chain hurt people or the planet? What resources are used and how were they obtained? How is this packaged and how am I going to get rid of that packaging? How did it get to me? This usually loops us back to the first question: do I really need this? The complexity of ethical consumption and this revolution that's happening in critical examination of supply chain behaviors have huge implications for the new economy and structures of sustainability and regeneration in the future. And Aman and I love teaching this at UWC. Another thing we investigate with the kids in partnership is how can we exist in a finite world system? What paradigm shifts are needed in economics, in society and geopolitically to enable us to thrive beyond our generation? How many solar panels, toilet flushes, shower pressure adaptations, or veggie Wednesdays or composting systems can we do to implement real change? How much recycling and repurposing can we do before we see that refusing and demanding a big systems shift is required? Those are the questions that we're calling on our 4 to 18-year-olds to investigate at our school. Sustainability and regeneration is the ultimate story of partnerships. I'll hand over to Aman now to tell his story, the essential behind the scenes or backstage work that goes hand in hand with the front stage where our students and community make change together. Remember, please, this is a connected and complex system. It's interdependent and mutually reinforcing. Together, we can make change possible.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you very, very much. Very insightful. And if I may build upon one thing from the remarkable sharing of Claire, that would be system thinking. Curriculum is actually not only limited to K1 to grade 12 at United World College of Southeast Asia. I would actually like to say that it has expanded beyond that. My department is actually actively collaborating within the curriculum needs. Building on further, I'm taking this three-pronged approach in order to share what does this collaboration actually looks like in action. The journey so far, what is our current focus, where we are working upon now, and what are some of the aims and ambitions we have for ourselves? Well, there are three primary umbrellas, if I may say, which are the constituents of our entire journey. First and foremost, I would say from a building perspective, operational efficiency is a must. We are a school and we believe in sustainability education for future leaders. So it's important that our students are not only learning, but seeing certain actions and their impact within our own buildings. And of course, a healthy learning environment for one and all from a building design perspective. Well, what makes Uwcsea green? There is a large number of elements and factors responsible for making our campuses green. This particular slide is basically depicting some of the key elements, which are including but not limited to maximum daylighting, the site planning, the VOCs emitting materials, energy efficient electrical fittings, ventilation, and alternative mode of transports. Basically, an environmental education and student participation in everything we are trying to achieve on our campuses. How did we do it? This image is a depiction from a model which Building Construction Authority of Singapore uses in order to showcase any particular building's journey towards managing energy efficiently. What we have done is taken that model and customized it to our own journey. There are 4 different areas of focus. We started with some passive strategies, which are more about design and architecture. Then we moved into something so-called active strategies, which means how we're going to manage our systems and processes in place, make sure that they are operating at their best efficiency. Then we moved towards smart energy management, technology have come a long way. It's very important that we are leveraging upon data in order to make decisions towards these efficiency needs. And then that brings us to renewable energy as well. Our solar journey on both campuses is a testimony that we are not stopping our journey in terms of reducing carbon footprint, because that's something which has to continue today and tomorrow. This is a picture heavy slide, but there was no other way I could navigate in terms of thinking through what are the key initiatives on campus, some of the key initiatives which are helping us achieve some of the energy efficiency. Well, these pictures are showcasing highly efficient chillers, a rainwater harvesting tank, the motors and pumps, heat pumps instead of geysers or heaters, fixtures and fittings which are of the highest ratings provided by PUB as well as Building Construction Authority of Singapore, a field which has lights which are highly efficient, that it uses 60% less energy than a typical field of its own size, green walls, biodiversity, a green heart as a project which is focused on enhancing our journey when it comes to the entire ecosystem, a bioswale, and vertical gardening in action. Well, here is a solar journey for Dover campus, and on East we have just started. But I think it's important to take note that this journey was started by a group of students. Somewhere back in 2011, when a conversation came up that what exactly we're going to do despite of an old building when the solar energy is growing across the globe. It took the students 2 years of thinking, because it's the system thinking which we are proud of, and then start the collaboration with facilities and operations. That today we are harvesting 690,000 kilowatt hour per year worth of energy. Generally, we love to talk about the savings on carbon footprint, but here on purpose, I am mentioning a dollar value of that. My purpose of mentioning that is that there are lots of conversation around return on investment in so-called corporate or profit-centric world. I would like to not only advocate, but invite colleagues and people to come and have a look at our journey, where the return on investment is not any more than 4 to 5 years. So it's a win-win for the environment, and it's a win-win from a financial sustainability perspective. Our East Campus journey. Well, East Campus was designed and built to be energy efficient. When we embarked on building East Campus, there were careful considerations in its design. It received its Green Mark Platinum in 2011, which was the highest rating for the most efficient building in Singapore, awarded by BCA. However, as the campus progressed and we had more enrollment, more number of students, more number of community members, and then more utilization of our various venues, you can look at the energy consumption rate, which slightly grew every year. And then we reached the year 16 and 17, where we reached the maturity in terms of our community and campus usage. Look, in 2017 to 2019, how we utilize system efficiencies once again in order to bring down our own energy consumption, despite of the fact that we are already a Green Mark Platinum. Well, Dover campus journey, and I think this requires a special mention here. Though East Campus is designed and built to be super low energy, platinum green. However, Dover campus is a 50-year-old building. It required a lot of synergy, I would say, between the board, the management, student, parents, alumni, and probably many more subject matter experts to say, how are we going to replicate what we have learned on East Campus? Without that synergy, these things do not come to life. Here is the remarkable journey of Dover campus. And you can see after learning from East Campus, how we started tracking data on Dover campus as well. And we tracked it for multiple years before carrying out some significant changes as we did on East Campus. It's exactly the same year, 2017 to 2019. And you can see the drop in energy consumption of Dover campus by 54.8%. I think this is also an evidence of the system-based thinking, which Claire was earlier talking about. Claire was talking about how she works with different collaborators in giving the community members a mindset which is working towards the climate. And this slide is an indicator that this is an inspired community which cares for the climate. And we have turned a 50-year-old building into a super low energy platinum green. Well, this slide is for a reference perspective, as in what it means. What is energy utility index? This is Building Construction Authority Singapore's data, which is basically doing some comparisons of different buildings in our segment. You can see private colleges and schools are sitting at 106 energy utility index per square meter, and Uwcsea Dover is sitting at 66.2 and East at 68.5, which is again an indicator that how our buildings are operating at a 45 to 50% lower energy than the buildings of its own segment. We are very proud of our super low energy platinum green journey, and this little slide indicates the recognition which came in form of an award presentation. I would like to say that our journey has not stopped here. This is a testimony to a lot of work which has been put in by many community members in collaboration, but the journey continues. As we move towards these accreditations, awards, and recognitions, we should not forget that the temperature is still rising. And the VUCA world in which we are living. And I will re-emphasize and repeat myself because system thinking is something I'm personally very proud of. I have not only adopted it, but have materialized it at my team level, because we are the people on the ground who are actually working with systems and processes with this volatility and uncertainty, where whether it should be science-based targets or it should be global reporting initiatives. Should it be carbon or hydrology we want to go after? Is it the technology or the politics? Not sure whether it's activism or the awareness or the blame game that continues, or collaboration, which is actually an answer to the climate anxiety. Well, focus, and I would like to say that these three initiatives are complementary to each other. We have directed our energy and time by putting our efforts into three different segments currently. First and foremost, we can't ignore technology. It's important to accelerate our journey on technology front. It's also important to continuously enhance our community's learning journey as technology grows, and then growing our web of collaboration, because without that, we might be operating at a very small scale. It's important that these initiatives go beyond United World College of Southeast Asia. I would like to highlight that there are so many initiatives, and we have picked up on our partners and collaborators and have looked into every single little thing in terms of what it means to reduce the carbon footprint. But it's important to really have a segment-based approach. This slide is indicating that how we have looked into the details at food services, bus service, soft services, where currently we are running a plastic-free operation in our campuses. I know it may sound surprising, but that's a fact. That's our reality. On our bus services, we have reduced the ignition time. How did we do it? Well, that's an entire story to be shared. Soft services, how we have looked at our overall waste management journey in order to integrate our resources as well as impact. And then not only systems like the highly efficient air handling units, heat pumps, no drive days, and Claire spoke about all these initiatives. This is real collaboration in action at UWC. Well, on technological accelerators front, it's important to highlight that why did we embark on that journey? And I have listed 12 different pain points which we were going through. However, either we can crib about the pain points or turn them into certain advancements. The picture in blue is indicating how we turned 12 of our pain points into enablers, into advancements towards operational efficiency, cost optimization, and student engagement initiative. Everything contributing towards environment and sustainability. Here is the digital dashboard. The image on left-hand side are the people who actively collaborated in bringing our interactive dashboard to life. On the right-hand side, Claire also spoke about it. These things do not just happen. It requires a lot of work behind the scenes. How a particular class will come and look what we have achieved together and then utilize it into their curriculum. So that's the collaboration we have been talking about, that it took us probably a year and a half even to design and draft that approach, that how the systems and models we are teaching in the classroom will be seen in practice at facilities and operations, and then we will connect them together to create a meaningful change. Well, here is an image of the digital dashboard, which is interactive in nature, and what we are basically trying to achieve through this is bringing entire campus data under one single platform. Waste management, whether it is about the food waste, it is about the general waste, it is about recycling, whether it is our systems like at what efficiency the chiller plant room is running, how much electricity is consumed, how much water is consumed, how much solar energy is being harvested, everything under single umbrella so that we can look at it holistically and then make decisions for good. I thought it's also important to actually look at day-to-day operations. And this slide basically showcases what it looks like in terms of solving problems on ground. You can see on left-hand side, Gautam is our sustainability planner, working in my team and collaborating with everybody in the community, just writing there over a weekend. This is like 5 WCs running non-stop. We know in large scale buildings and operations, this is very normal, but you can also see that how our team on ground, which are predominantly security officers, have helped us in reducing that curve to zero. On right hand side, Claire spoke about the Zero Waste Center, which is an initiative in itself, but also how we are utilizing that particular place to become part of our operations, that there are cutleries and crockeries returned there by community members, and we can adopt to it and utilize it in our own canteen. It's not about showcasing something, it's about some real meaningful action, which is there visible in our day-to-day services. Well, campus case studies, I can talk about it the entire day. And this is for me is like a little dream come true, because this is not just limited to the enhanced journey of students, but also an indicator how inclusion looks like at UWC. How the members of my team, Arena, who is a landscaper, Gautam, who is a sustainability planner, it's me in a chiller plant room, little ones at the solar tour, and so on. Well, when members of my team are getting to interact directly with children, there is a lot of sense of competence. There is a sense of wellness. There is a sense of inclusion with the entire community. And not just that, I think building that relationship with our students, when we are walking the campus, there are more hellos and there are more smiles. I said in the beginning, community building is my passion. And I think this particular initiative of campus case studies had just allowed us to take it to the next levels. I'm grateful to so many people, but to entire UWC community for giving me and my team an active opportunity to collaborate with our little learners. Well, what do we look forward to? And building on our own belief, there is always scope of improvement. So we will not stop there, and we have started planning that what does the future looks like. Well, our biggest focus will be around growing our web of collaboration. These best practices have to go beyond UWC because they are meaningful. And if we have solved certain problems, why should not others get benefited from the same? So we have done some mapping. This is not conclusive, and we are still building upon the same. Authorities and industries, it's important to work with some certain subject matter experts, various partners whose presence is actually global. Our foundation team, which is continuously helping us in raising funds so that we can contribute in a meaningful manner to implement some of the significant projects towards climate change. Our parents and alumni ambassadors who are helping us in advancing our journey by conducting sustainability tours. At the same time, some focused groups which are taking these best practices beyond UWC campuses, and of course staff and students. I have just spoken about campus case studies. This is real collaboration in action. Well, this now brings me to the context of Singapore. Whatever we try to achieve and establish across the globe, it is very important to recognize where we are. And Singapore, who has done a remarkable job towards climate change, they have set up some key targets for 2030. On this slide are different authorities we are working with, partnering with, trying to understand what they are trying to do in order to go to the next stage, and how we as building owners can contribute towards that journey. Because end of the day, it is not only top down where a policy or a plan gonna be put on people, but it has to be bottom up as well, how these people are going to contribute towards these policies and plans so that they remains meaningful, not only today but tomorrow as well. This brings me to the final slide, which is nothing but an invitation. Thank you very, very much for giving us some of your time and attention. I would like to, and this is what I generally use as a little analogy with our own community, choose your C carefully. Either you are choosing the climate or you are choosing the convenience. It's almost impossible to choose the both. This brings me to the second invitation, which is about the journey. Our journey is a testimony. Turning a 50-year-old building in Singapore to a super low energy platinum green was never easy. However, climate takes the priority, and I invite you for that active collaboration and learning that how did we do it? And then that brings us to the third invitation, which the collaboration channels are open at UWC today and tomorrow. And we go by that. I and Claire collectively will be very happy to share and learn, because you might be doing so many things which are better, learning, inventing, and innovating. We'll be happy to adapt as well. Well, it is important to recognize certain individuals who have contributed to this journey. Some of them have moved on, but apart from our entire UWC community, I'm taking this opportunity to thank Simon Thomas, Nathan Hunt, and everybody else who was involved in the foundational work. Some of the subject matter experts, Dr. Alberto Salvo on environmental economy, Berto Lesteranus, advice on building performance and diagnostics, and Dr. Steve Yim, who have contributed already significantly by asking some of the expanding questions towards data. And then the Singapore authorities, whether it's BCA, NEA, NParks, PUB, SFA, and all other collaborators in our community. With that, thank you very much, everybody. And I hand it over back to Claire for a closing message, but I remain available, as I said, today and tomorrow. Choose your seat carefully.
Fantastic. Thanks, Aman. Wow, as always, learning so much from you there. Absolutely brilliant. The story being told there of what it looks like in your sphere of influence, and that massive journey that we've come on together as we've collaborated for the planet, for climate change. Yeah. So, like Aman said, there's been an invite there for you to choose your seat. Let's work together in this complex system here at school and beyond to demand sustainability, to set up systems and structures beyond sustainability for regeneration. It's going to require, as Aman said, that we dig deep and we hold the mirror up and we're transparent to make the systemic changes required. It might hurt in the short term, but it will enable us to thrive in the long term. That's what a UWC education is all about, and that's why we're all connected to this college and network of colleges. I'm very hopeful for partnerships and sustainability. We have done this before so many times. Let's go back in history a bit. The agricultural revolution, LGBTQ rights, the ozone layer, women's rights, voting rights, the abolition of slavery, Black Lives Matter, DEIJ work. Those paradigm shifts have happened, and we're right on the cusp of another one, we feel. And educating for sustainability through partnerships at UWC is a pretty amazing spot to be in as an educator right now. Let's step into this changing world with a growth mindset and a full toolkit, and let's change that world. Let's take our education right to the mission for peace and sustainability. We can do this together. It's possible to form partnerships for change, and we've seen it happen at our school and globally. Thank you for listening and getting on board. We will be joining the networking room to continue our discussion. And as Aman said, we're here to answer questions, share and collaborate. And thank you for your time today and for taking an interest in sustainability and partnerships.